The human spaceship Aurora drifted in the cold silence of space, its lights glowing against the endless black sky. The crew was tired after long weeks of travel. They had faced no danger, no excitement, only the empty stars. But something was about to change, something that would make every soul on board remember this night forever. It started with a strange sound, a soft beep from the communication console. The signal was weak, broken, almost like a whisper carried by the void. The operator frowned, tapping the screen. "Captain, I am receiving something, but it is not human code," he said, his voice filled with confusion. The captain walked closer, his eyes sharp. "Play it," he ordered. The sound filled the command deck. At first it was only static, but then a voice broke through, a voice that was not human, yet full of emotion, trembling, begging, "If you have a heart, let my daughter in. She will die out here. Please." The words shocked the crew. Some exchanged nervous glances, some felt pity, others felt fear. The captain leaned forward, his jaw tightening. "Repeat the signal," he said. The operator played it again. The same desperate plea echoed in the air. The crew could almost feel the pain behind the voice. "Could be a trap," the security chief muttered, his hand resting on his blaster. "Aliens don't just beg humans for help, not after the wars." But the doctor, a kind woman with gentle eyes, shook her head. "Listen to her voice. That is not the sound of a soldier. That is a mother begging for her child," she whispered. Before they could argue more, the motion sensor alarm rang. Something was moving outside the ship, near the airlock. The crew rushed to the screen, and their hearts froze. On the screen they saw her, a shadowy figure, kneeling at the edge of the ship, her skin pale blue, her arms shaking as she held something close. In her hands was a small, ill body, a child, weak, barely breathing. The mother pressed a button on her wrist, sending the same weak signal again. "If you have a heart, let my daughter in. I can pay you with my body, please." The crew gasped. The words struck like a blade. Some felt ashamed, some felt angry. The mother was not asking for war, not asking for weapons. She was offering her dignity just to save her little one. "Captain, we cannot let them in," the security chief growled. "We don't know what they carry, disease, poison, a trap. One mistake and all of us die," he said firmly. But the doctor stepped forward, her voice trembling. "If we close the door, the child dies. Can you live with that on your conscience?" The crew was divided. Some whispered about danger, some whispered about mercy. The captain remained silent, his eyes locked on the screen. He saw the alien mother's arms shaking. He saw the child's chest rising weakly, falling weaker again. "Captain," the operator whispered, "her oxygen is low. That child has minutes, maybe less." The silence grew heavy, broken only by the faint signal still repeating. The alien mother looked directly at the camera, her eyes shining with tears. She bowed her head, pressing her forehead to the metal of the airlock. "Take her, please, take her. She is innocent. I will give myself to you. Just let her live," she begged. The captain's hands tightened on the console. His crew waited for his command. The air was heavy with fear, but also with something else, something older than war, something deeper than fear. It was the call of humanity. "Open the outer camera wider," the captain ordered. The image zoomed out, showing the cold emptiness around them. Only the alien mother and child floating near the ship, her life fading, her breath weak. Still, she begged. The doctor wiped her eyes, whispering, "She is not our enemy. Not now. She is only a other." Her words struck the crew's hearts. The security chief cursed. "This is madness, Captain. We cannot risk it." But the captain did not reply. His eyes were firm, his voice calm but heavy. "Sometimes the risk is the proof we are human." The crew looked at him. Silence fell, and then the captain spoke, words that would change everything. "Prepare the airlock," he said. Gasps filled the deck. Some whispered that this was suicide. Others whispered that this was mercy, but no one dared to stop him. The alien mother looked up as the outer lights of the ship flickered. The door mechanism unlocked. She clutched her child tighter, her body shaking, her lips moving in silent prayer. The door began to open, slowly, carefully, and for a moment the entire crew held their breath. What would come inside? Life or death, hope or doom, mercy or betrayal? No one knew. But the choice had been made. The captain had opened the door to fate, and in that moment, as the airlock hissed, the Aurora was no longer just a ship. It was the stage of a story that would echo across the stars. The airlock hissed as the alien mother and her daughter were pulled inside. Cold mist rose around them. The crew stood ready, weapons half raised, fear mixed with curiosity. The child lay limp in the mother's arms, her chest barely moving. The alien woman fell to her knees, whispering thanks in a broken voice. The doctor rushed forward with a medical scanner. her eyes wide with worry. "She is dying. I need space. I need light," she said quickly. The captain gave a sharp nod. "Clear the path. Take them to the medbay." His voice was firm, but his eyes lingered on the mother, on the way she clutched her child like the universe itself could not pull her away. The security chief growled, "This is madness, Captain. What if they spread something? What if this whole ship is infected now?" But the captain raised a hand, silencing him. "No more woo. RDs, save the child first," he said. The doctor and her team rushed down the corridor, carrying the little girl onto a hover stretcher. The alien mother tried to follow, but the guards blocked her way, her body trembling with weakness, her eyes desperate. "Please," she whispered, her voice breaking, "do not let her out of my sight." Her hands pressed together like a prayer. The guards looked at the captain, and after a long moment he gave a slow nod. "Take her too," he said. As they moved through the halls of the ship, whispers spread among the crew. Some looked with pity, others with suspicion. "Why would an alien beg humans? Why bring her child here? What does she want?" they muttered. Fear was a heavy shadow. Inside the medbay, the doctor worked fast, attaching tubes, scanning the strange glowing blood of the child. "Her oxygen is too low. Her organs are shutting down. She won't last," the doctor said. Then she looked at the alien mother. "Tell me, what does she need? What can save her?" The mother stepped forward, her voice shaking but strong. "She needs warmth. She needs clean air, and she needs time." Then her voice broke into a whisper. "She has suffered too much, too long." Her body sank to the floor, her hands clutching at the doctor's sleeve. "Save her. I will give you anything," she said. The crew in the room fell silent, their eyes on the alien woman. She lifted her head, her face pale with exhaustion, her eyes shining with tears, and she said words that struck them like thunder. "I can pay you with my body, please. Take me, use me. But let my daughter live." The silence grew heavier. The doctor froze, her eyes wide with shock. Even the captain stepped back as if the words were too heavy to hear. The security chief muttered a curse under his breath. The alien mother bowed her head to the ground, her forehead pressed to the cold metal, her hands dry. Embling, "It is our law, our way. Life must be repaid with life. Mercy must be repaid with flesh. I cannot pay with gold. I cannot pay with weapons. I can only pay with myself. Please, I beg you." The doctor knelt beside her, shaking her head. No, that is not how humans work. We do not take mothers for payment. We save because it is right," she said gently. But the alien mother only wept harder. "Your people do not understand. My people will hunt me for this. If I do not repay you, I will bring shame upon my daughter, shame upon the dead." Her voice cracked into sobs. The captain's face hardened. He crouched down, lifting her chin with his hand. His eyes met hers. "Listen to me. No one on this ship will take you that way. We are not your enemies, but you must tell me the truth. Why is your daughter so important? Why risk everything to bring her here?" he asked. The mother hesitated, her lips trembling. She clutched her daughter's hand, her eyes flickering with fear. She is not like others," she whispered. "She carries a blood that is forbidden. If they find her, they will kill her. They will kill all who protect her." Her voice dropped, almost a hiss of fear. "Her blood is not only mine." The doctor leaned closer, scanning the child again. Her eyes widened. "Captain, her cells, they are strange. They are not fully alien," she whispered, her hand trembling. "There is something human inside her." The captain's breath caught. The security chief snarled, "What trick is this?" But the doctor shook her head. "No trick, no lie. I can see it in the scans. This child has human DNA." The alien mother wept silently, her body trembling. She knew the secret was out. She pressed her lips to her daughter's forehead, whispering words in a language no one understood. The captain stood slowly, his mind racing, a storm of questions in his head. How could this be? How could a human and alien create life together? What did it mean? What danger did it bring? The alien mother looked up, her voice weak but filled with sorrow. "Now you see why I beg. Now you see why I offer myself. If they learn she lives, they will destroy her, and you, with her, please save her, even if it costs me everything." The crew stood frozen, torn between fear and mercy, between the danger of truth and the weight of compassion. The child lay silent on the bed, her glowing blood pulsing faintly, her fragile body caught between two worlds. And as the hum of the ship filled the silence, one truth became clear. This was no ordinary rescue. This was the beginning of something greater, something dangerous, something that would test not only their lives but their very humanity. The medbay was filled with the soft hum of machines. Glowing lights reflected off metal walls. The crew stood in uneasy silence, their eyes fixed on the strange child lying on the medical bed. Her chest rose and fell with weak breaths. Her blood glowed faintly under her skin. The doctor moved quickly, adjusting wires, watching the scanner, her hands shaking as she studied the results. She turned to the captain, her face pale. "She is stable for now, but her blood is impossible," she said softly. The captain frowned. "Explain," his voice low. The doctor swallowed hard. "Her DNA is not pure alien. It is mixed, half alien, half human." The words sent a wave of shock through the room. Crew members exchanged stunned glances. The security chief spat. "Lies, no human could ever." But his words trailed off as the scanner projected the child's cells in glowing detail. Human strands and alien strands woven together like threads of two worlds. The alien mother clutched her daughter's hand, tears falling silently down her face. She whispered, "Now you know, now you see why they will kill her, why they will kill me. She is the proof of what they fear most, that our worlds can mix." Her voice trembled, yet there was strength beneath it. The captain's jaw tightened, his thoughts racing. A child born of two enemies, a secret powerful enough to start another war, or to end one forever. He studied the mother's face. She looked broken, yet determined, willing to sacrifice anything for her daughter. The crew began whispering among themselves. "How can this be?" one said. "Maybe she is lying, maybe it is a trick," another muttered. But the doctor silenced them. "No trick. The proof is here. I see it in her cells. This child is real. She is the child of two worlds," she said firmly. The alien mother lowered her head, her voice heavy with sorrow. "Her father was human, a soldier. He loved me once. He died protecting us, but in his death he gave me this child. She is my life. She is my shame. She is my hope," she whispered. The crew fell silent, listening. The security chief stepped forward, his eyes cold. "Captain, we cannot keep them. If the alien fleets find out, they will hunt us. They will destroy us. This child is a danger," he said firmly, but the doctor snapped. "This child is not danger. She is a life, and life must be saved." Her voice cracked but carried strength. The captain raised a hand, silencing them. His eyes locked on the child, her tiny chest rising weakly, her glowing blood pulsing. He saw not a weapon, not a danger, but a child fighting for life. He turned to the mother. "If what you say is true, then your people will come. They will not stop," he said. The mother nodded. "Yes, they will come, and they will kill us all." Her voice heavy with truth. A sudden alarm cut through the air, red lights flashing across the medbay. The operator's voice crackled over the intercom. "Captain, multiple signals approaching. Unknown vessels, they are fast." The crew tensed, fear rushing through them. The mother's eyes widened. "They have found us," she whispered. The captain clenched his fists, his heart heavy with the weight of decision. "Battle stations," he commanded. The crew scattered, the medbay filled with the sound of boots pounding down the corridor. The doctor remained, guarding the child. The mother pressed her forehead to her daughter's hand, whispering prayers. The captain stood at the doorway, looking back at them. "We will not give her up," he said, his voice steady. The security chief protested, "Captain, this is suicide." But the captain's eyes were firm. "If humanity is to mean anything, it must mean mercy. It must mean courage," he said. The alien mother looked up at him, tears in her eyes. "You risk everything for us." "Why?" she asked. The captain paused, then answered simply, "Because no child should die in the dark." His words cut deep. Even the mother bowed her head in silence. The alarm grew louder, the ship shaking as enemy signals locked on. The crew prepared for battle. Tension thick in the air. The doctor whispered to herself, "Hold on, little one, hold on." As the child stirred faintly, her eyes flickering open for a second, glowing with a strange light, everyone froze. The child's voice barely a whisper, yet clear. "Home," she said. Then her eyes closed again. The doctor gasped. She spoke. "She is conscious." The alien mother kissed her forehead. "She knows. She remembers," her voice trembling. The captain stepped closer, his heart pounding. "What did she mean? Home?" he asked. The mother looked at him with fear in her eyes. "She carries memories not her own. Her father's blood speaks through her. She may know things no child should know." Her words sent a chill through the air. The ship trembled again. The operator shouted over the comms, "Captain, enemy ships are charging weapons." The crew braced themselves, fear gripping them like ice. The alien mother clutched her child tighter, her voice breaking. "If they find her, he will burn your ship. They will burn your world." The captain stared out into the dark through the viewing screen, the enemy signals glowing red like eyes in the void. His decision weighed heavy on his shoulders. Behind him, the child stirred once more, her small hand glowing faintly, her voice whispering again, this time stronger. "I am the child of two worlds." The room fell into stunned silence, her words echoing like a prophecy. The captain closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them with iron resolve. "Then we will fight for both worlds," he said. And in that instant, as the enemy ships closed in, the fate of humanity and alien kind rested in the hands of a child who should not exist, a child who might change everything. The ship trembled as enemy signals grew stronger. Alarms echoed through the corridors. Red lights flashed across the walls. The crew ran to their stations, preparing for the fight of their lives. Yet in the medbay, silence hung heavy, broken only by the soft breathing of the alien child. The captain stood near the doorway, his eyes locked on the mother. "Tell me everything now," he demanded, his voice sharp. "Why are they hunting you? Why is this child so important?" The alien mother bowed her head, her hands trembling as she clutched her daughter's glowing fingers. For a long moment, she said nothing. Her lips quivered as if holding back years of sorrow. Then finally she spoke, her voice soft but clear. "Because she is a bridge, a wound, and a hope, all in one." Her eyes filled with tears. "Because her father was human." The crew froze, even though the doctor had already guessed. Hearing it from her lips made the truth heavier. The mother continued, her words trembling. "Long ago, during the war, I was taken prisoner. But there was one soldier. He did not see me as an enemy. He saw me as life. He gave me food. He gave me water. And in time, he gave me his heart." Her voice cracked. "Phew. We were hunted for it. He was killed. But before he died, he left me with her." She looked down at her daughter. The doctor's eyes softened, but the security chief shook his head in disbelief. "Impossible! Humans and aliens cannot—" He stopped as the scanner glowed again, showing the child's mixed blood, proof that could not be denied. The captain's eyes narrowed. "Why hide her then? If she is hope, why not show the worlds?" he asked, the mother's face twisted with pain. "Because our worlds fear what they cannot control. My people believe she is a curse. Your people would believe she is a weapon. No one would see her as a child. They would see her as danger." Her voice grew bitter. "So I ran, and I have been running ever since." Her words cut deep into the crew's hearts. They looked at the child, small, fragile, glowing faintly, caught between two bloodlines that should never have met. The operator's voice rang through the intercom. "Captain, enemy ships are surrounding us. They demand surrender." The crew stiffened. The captain clenched his fists. "What do they want?" he asked. The answer came at once. A booming alien voice filled the ship. "Give us the traitor mother and the half-blood child or be destroyed." The alien mother flinched at the words, her eyes closing in shame. She whispered, "They will never stop, not until we are ashes." The captain looked at her, then at the crew, his voice steady. "We will not hand them over." The security chief's eyes widened. "Captain, we are outnumbered. They will crush us." But the captain did not move, his jaw set. "Then we fight. Not for war, but for what is right." His voice carried across the room, steady and unshaken. The alien mother stared at him in disbelief. "You would risk your crew, your ship for us?" she asked. The captain looked back, his eyes steady. "For her," he said, nodding to the child. "She is innocent, and innocence must be defended." The mother's eyes filled with tears again. She bowed low, pressing her forehead to the floor. "I owe you more than I can give," she whispered, but the captain raised her up, his voice firm. "You owe nothing. This is humanity's choice." The ship shook violently as enemy weapons charged. The crew braced for impact. The doctor shielded the child with her body, whispering, "Hold on, little one, hold on." But then, something unexpected happened. The child's body glowed brighter, her breathing steadied, her small hands lifted slightly, as if reaching for something unseen. The machines beeped louder, detecting sudden surges of energy in her blood. The mother gasped, "No, not now. She is too weak." Her voice filled with fear. The captain turned sharply. "What is happening?" he demanded. The mother whispered, "Her father's blood. It awakens in her. She carries his memory, his strength, but her body cannot handle it." Her voice broke. "If she uses it, she could die." The crew stood frozen, watching the glow spread across the child's body, her skin shining faintly like starlight. Her lips moved, forming words, a whisper barely heard. "They are coming," she said, her voice both childlike and ancient. "They will not stop unless we show them." The captain stepped closer. "Show them what?" he asked. But the child's eyes closed again, her glow fading, her small chest rising and falling slowly. The alien mother wept softly. "She carries pieces of him, of her father, memories that are not hers. Sometimes they rise, sometimes they speak," she said, her voice shaking. "But each time it happens, it takes more from her." The crew exchanged uneasy looks. The security chief whispered, "She is dangerous." But the doctor snapped back. She is alive, and that is all that matters, her voice sharp. The captain raised a hand, silencing the argument. Danger or not, she is under my protect. And now, he said firmly, his eyes burning with resolve. Outside, enemy ships closed in, their weapons glowing, ready to fire. The operator's voice shouted, Captain, they are charging for a full strike. The crew tensed, ready for impact. The alien mother clutched her daughter tighter, whispering prayers, her voice shaking. Forgive me, my love. I could not protect her alone. And then the captain's voice cut through the fear, steady and unyielding. If they want her, they must go through us, he said. The crew stood in silence, their hearts pounding, and for the first time, the alien mother believed that maybe, just maybe, humans were different. But outside, in the endless dark, the enemy fleet prepared to unleash fire, and the Aurora was only one small ship, standing alone. The space around the Aurora was no longer silent. Enemy ships closed in, their sharp designs glowing with cruel light, their weapons humming as they charged. The crew of the human vessel stood tense, hearts pounding, every screen flashing red warnings. The alien voice returned, loud and merciless. Hand over the traitor mother and her half-blood spawn, or we will burn you to dust. The sound echoed through every corridor, filling the ship with dread. In the med bay, the alien mother clutched her daughter, tears rolling down her pale cheeks. She whispered, They will never stop. They would rather see a child dead than admit our worlds can be one. Her voice shook with both fear and fury. The captain stood firm on the command deck, his hands gripping the console, his jaw like stone. Send them a reply, he said. The operator hesitated, then nodded. The captain's voice boomed through the comms. We will not hand her over. She is a child, and we do not kill children. The reply came at once, a roar of rage. Then you choose death, weapons locked on. The sensors screamed alarms. The crew braced. The security chief shouted, Captain, we cannot win. Their firepower will tear us apart. The captain's eyes did not move from the screen. Then we will show them humanity is not so easily broken. His voice calm but unyielding. The first blast struck. The ship shuddered violently. Sparks flew across the bridge. Smoke filled the air, but the hull held. The crew coughed, their faces pale, but their hands moved faster across controls, firing back with every cannon the Aurora carried. Bolts of light streaked across the dark void. Explosions flared in the distance. Enemy shields flickered but did not fall. Their numbers were too many, their ships too strong. In the med bay, the child stirred, her small hand glowing faintly. The doctor gasped. Her body is reacting again. The alien mother held her tighter, whispering, No, not now, save your strength. But the glow spread, her blood pulsing brighter, her lips moved, a whisper slipped out, Go to the hidden stars. The doctor froze. She spoke again. The mother's eyes widened in fear. She is remembering. Her father's blood is speaking through her. The captain was called back on the comms, the doctor's voice urgent. Captain, the child gave us coordinates. She said something about hidden stars. The captain turned sharply. Feed them to navigation. The operator's hands flew over the console. His eyes widened. Captain, those coordinates point to an uncharted zone. No records, no maps, he said. The captain's gaze hardened. Then that is where we go. The security chief snapped. You cannot be serious. We are under attack. If we divert, we expose ourselves. But the captain cut him off. If she is truly the key, then her words matter. We follow them. The ship shook again as another blast hit. The shields weakened, systems flickered, yet the engines roared as the Aurora turned sharply, diving towed. Are the unknown coordinates. The enemy fleet gave chase, firing relentlessly. The corridors rattled, pipes burst, sparks rained down, crew shouted orders and warnings, but the ship held on, fighting to survive. In the med bay, the mother whispered to her daughter, Your father is guiding us. Is this where you wanted us to go? Her tears fell onto the child's glowing skin. The girl's eyes flickered open for a heartbeat, and she whispered one word, Yes, before falling unconscious again. The navigation officer shouted, Captain, we are reaching the edge of the coordinates. The sensors showed only emptiness, a vast stretch of silent stars, no planets, no stations, nothing. The crew's hearts sank. Was it a mistake? The security chief muttered. But before anyone could answer, the sensors went wild, alarms shrieked. The void in front of them rippled like water, space itself twisting. Then a massive shadow emerged, a hidden structure, ancient and colossal, a ship unlike any they had ever seen, buried in the dark for centuries, its metal broken yet still glowing faintly. The crew gasped. What is that? The captain's eyes narrowed. A ghost from the war, he whispered. The alien mother staggered forward, her eyes wide with shock. No, not a ghost, she said, her voice trembling. That is his ship, Her father's ship. The crew stared, stunned into silence. The child's whisper had led them here, to the place where her father's last battle ended. But there was no time to marvel. The enemy fleet closed in, surrounding the Aurora, weapons aimed. Their leader's voice roared once more. "Give us the traitor and the half-blood, or die with your ghosts." The crew looked at their captain, fear in their eyes. The alien mother clutched her child, her voice breaking. "Do not let them take her, please." The captain's voice rose, firm and unshaken. "We will not surrender if Tuan. His is where we fall, then we fall protecting a child." His words spread through the ship, filling hearts with both fear and courage. The battle began again, fire lighting up the dark, explosions shaking the stars. The Aurora fought desperately, each shot a cry of defiance, but the enemy pressed harder, stronger, relentless. In the med bay, the child glowed brighter, her small chest rising with a strange power. The doctor whispered in awe. "She is reacting to the ship, to her father's legacy," the alien mother cried softly. "Then maybe she can save us." And as the Aurora burned in the storm of war, the glow from the child spread, her fragile body shining like a beacon. The unwanted war had begun, but deep inside the flames, hope was awakening. The Aurora floated battered and broken near the shadow of the ancient ship. Sparks flew across her corridors, smoke filled the air, but still she held on. The crew worked with shaking hands, their hearts heavy with fear. Enemy ships circled like predators, weapons glowing with deadly light. In the med bay, the child's glow spread across the walls, her blood pulsed like starlight. Machines beeped wildly as her body connected to something unseen. The doctor whispered, "She is linking to it, to that ancient ship outside." The alien mother trembled. Her father's soul is here, his last gift, his last secret. The captain rushed to the viewing screen, his eyes locked on the enormous wreck. The structure stretched for miles, broken yet alive, its surface etched with scars of war. "Scan it," he ordered. The operator worked quickly, his voice shaking. "Captain, it is not just a ship, it is a vault. It carries human and alien technology, fused together." The crew gasped. The security chief clenched his fists. "Impossible. No record speaks of such a thing." But the mother's voice rose, soft yet filled with truth. "It was hidden, because it was forbidden. He built it with me, with my people's designs, with his human knowledge. This ship was his dream, a dream. And to unite what war had broken." The captain's eyes narrowed. "And this child carries the key." The mother nodded. "Yes, only she can awaken it. Only she can open what he left behind." Her voice trembled. "But if she does, it may cost her life." The crew fell silent, their eyes drawn to the glowing child, small, fragile, yet holding the power of two worlds in her blood. Outside, the enemy fleet prepared to strike again. Their leader's voice thundered across the comms. "Last chance, surrender the half-blood and her mother, or we will burn you with your ghosts." The captain raised his head, his voice cold and strong. "If you want her, come and face her light," he said. The battle flared again. Beams of fire ripped through space. The Aurora shuddered. Explosions shook her hull. But then, a new sound echoed, deep and ancient. The derelict ship outside stirred, its lights flickering awake, one by one, across its broken body. The crew stared in awe. The giant ship glowed like a sleeping beast rising from its grave. The child's light pulsed in rhythm with it, her small chest rising and falling faster, her whispers filling the medbay. "Father, I am here," the doctor gasped. "She is unlocking it, she is speaking with it." The mother clutched her hand, tears streaming. "Yes, his memory lives in her blood, he left her the path." The alien wreck hummed, ancient weapons lit up, long dormant systems roaring back to life. Enemy ships faltered, their captains shouting in panic. "What is this? What trick is this?" But no trick could explain what they saw. The Aurora trembled as power surged into her systems. Consoles lit brighter, shields strengthened, weapons recharged. The child's glow spread across the ship itself, merging two vessels into one living bond. The captain gritted his teeth. "We are not alone anymore," he said, his voice filled with fire. "Fire back. With Eve. Writhing we have." The Aurora and the ancient ship answered together, cannons blazing, beams tearing through the dark. Explosions shook the void as enemy vessels were struck down one after another. The crew cheered, their fear turning into hope. But inside the medbay, the doctor frowned, her voice urgent. "Captain, the child cannot hold this. Her body is too weak. Her energy is draining." The mother cried out, "Stop her, she will die." But the glow only grew brighter. The child whispered again, her voice clear and strange. "No, I must finish. He showed me how to end this war." Her eyes flickered open, glowing like twin suns. I am the bridge. The crew felt the words pierce their hearts. Even the hardened security chief lowered his weapon, staring in awe. The alien fleet regrouped, their leader screaming with rage. Destroy them! Destroy the cursed blood! But their shots were met with walls of energy, shields drawn from the awakened legacy. The captain stood tall, his eyes burning with resolve. Hold the line. Protect her, he commanded. The ancient ship fired once more. A beam of light so strong it split the void. Enemy ships scattered like dust, some destroyed, others fleeing. The void fell silent again, only debris floating in the starlight. The crew cheered, but their joy died quickly as the doctor shouted, "She is crashing, her heart is failing," the alien mother wailed. "No, my child, please stay with me." She held her daughter close, her tears falling like rain. The glow faded from the child's body, her small frame limp. The doctor worked frantically, pressing tools against her chest, sending waves of energy to restart her heart. The crew watched in horror, silence choking them. Finally, a weak breath escaped her lips. Her chest rose again, faint but alive. The doctor slumped with relief. "She is still here, but barely," she whispered. The mother kissed her forehead, whispering thanks in her language. The captain looked at the wreck outside, now silent. To once more its gift spent, its power fading. "It gave us a chance, but it also gave us a message," he said quietly, "that the war can end if we choose mercy over fear." The mother lifted her head, her eyes meeting his. "You see now why they hate her. She is not just my daughter, she is the proof that peace is possible." Her voice shook. "And proof is what they fear most." The crew fell silent, each heart heavy with the weight of what they had witnessed. But the captain's eyes burned with determination. "Then we will not let them erase her, not her father's dream," he said. And though the battle was won, they all knew the war was only beginning. The stars outside the aurora were silent again. Only broken ships floated in the dark. The enemy fleet scattered, some destroyed, some fleeing in terror. The ancient wreck drifted quietly, its glow fading, but the weight of what had just happened hung heavy over every heart. In the medbay, the alien child lay weak but breathing, her small chest rising faintly, her glow dimmed but not gone. Her mother sat at her side, holding her hand tightly, whispering soft words of love and fear. The captain entered, his face grim, yet his eyes carried something deeper, determination. He stood at the foot of the bed, his voice calm but heavy. "She saved us, but the fight is not over. More will come. They will not stop until she is gone." The mother looked up, her eyes red with tears. "I know. I have been running since the day she was born. I thought I could protect her alone, but I was wrong. Only humanity can stand with her now," she said. The doctor placed a hand on the captain's shoulder. "She carries the blood of both worlds. Maybe she is more than just a child. Maybe she is the answer." Her words soft but strong. The security chief stepped forward, his voice sharp but uncertain. "Captain, she is also a danger. You see. What she can do. No weapon we have could match her power. What if we cannot control her?" The crew held their breath, waiting for the captain's reply. He turned slowly, his eyes cold as steel. "She is not a weapon. She is a child. And if we treat her as anything else, then we are no better than those who want her dead." His voice carried across the room, silencing all doubts. The alien mother bowed her head, whispering, "Your words shame my people. They chose fear, but you choose mercy." Suddenly the child stirred, her glowing eyes opening faintly. The crew leaned closer. Her voice was soft, yet carried an echo far older than her years. "They will come again, stronger. They will burn worlds to find me. But I am not here to destroy. I am here to heal." The captain knelt beside her, his eyes locked on hers. "Then tell us how, child of two worlds. Tell us what we must do," he said. Her hand lifted weakly, pointing toward the stars. "Go to Earth," she whispered. "My father's home, my home. They must see me. They must see what I am. Only then will the war end." The room fell silent, the weight of her words pressing into every soul. Earth, the cradle of humanity, the heart of everything. To bring her there meant exposing her to the entire human race, and to the enemy who would surely follow. The security chief shook his head. "Captain, this is madness. If she appears on Earth, panic will spread. Governments will see her as a threat. They will fight to control her. She will not be safe there." But the captain's voice rose strong and clear. "And yet it is the only choice. Hiding has nearly killed her. Running has nearly destroyed her mother. It ends now." The crew exchanged uneasy glances, but none could argue. Deep down they knew the captain was right. The alien mother pressed her lips to her daughter's forehead, tears falling. You are your father's dream, little one. A dream that will either unite the stars or burn them, her voice broke. But I will walk with you even into the fire. The child closed her eye, as again whispering, do not be afraid, they will see, they will understand. Her glow faded as she drifted back into sleep. The captain stood, his voice steady. Set a course for Earth, he commanded. The operator hesitated, then nodded, hands flying across the console. The engines roared to life. Outside, the ancient wreck drifted quietly, a grave of the past, yet also a gift, a reminder. The crew saluted silently as they left it behind, carrying its legacy in the child who now slept peacefully. As the stars streaked past, the crew gathered one last time in the command deck, tension heavy in the air. The doctor spoke softly. Captain, do you think humanity will accept her? The captain's gaze stayed fixed on the stars. They must. If they do not, then we are already lost. The mother sat quietly in the corner, rocking her daughter gently, her eyes both fearful and hopeful. For the first time in years, she was not running alone. She was surrounded by humans who chose mercy over fear. But deep in her heart, she knew more battles would come, more enemies would rise. Yet perhaps, with these humans, her daughter had a chance. The Aurora cut through the endless void, carrying not just a crew, not just a mother and child, but the fragile hope of two worlds, a hope born in war, carried in blood, and chosen by humanity. And as Earth's distant blue glow appeared on the horizon of stars, the alien child stirred again, whispering words that froze every heart. Father, I am coming home. The crew looked at one another, silent, knowing history was about to change, not with warships, not with weapons, but with the beating heart of a child. The captain whispered to himself, his voice filled with both fear and pride, then let the stars bear witness. Humanity has made its choice. And in that moment, the future of two worlds rested in the small hands of a child who carried both. A child who was mercy made flesh, a child who could heal the scars of war, if only humanity had the courage to embrace her.